All right, so welcome to part 2 here. What I'm going to show you is the rubric now and how you're actually going to be getting graded. So if you take a look at the criteria here, you'll notice that it covers the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion, just like we had talked about before. It also includes presentation, which I'll go into in a second. So for your introduction, there's going to be a couple of different things. And as you look at this, you're also going to notice that some things are worth more than others. So some of them are worth five grade or 5 marks, and some are worth 10, but it totals up to 100 in the end with that round. So what you're going to be doing is using this as your framework as you are creating your final project. So when you're actually going to the written section, you're putting your heart and soul into it. Make sure that you've covered these things so that you get top marks. One of the things that you'll notice is that the links to the course topics and big ideas and the mathematical content are both worth 10 marks. So this is a math inquiry project. So I do want to see math on your project. Even if I'm doing something I love, like mountain biking or on Star Wars or something, it still has to have that mathematical content. And the big ideas for this course, if you follow the link here, it'll take you to Workplace Math 11, and these are the big ideas up here. So hopefully some way, somehow, you can connect it. And you can even talk about how the connection takes place, maybe in your conclusion or in your introduction. And then you'll see that there's the content that we've learned in this course, rate of change, that was in chapter 1, 3D objects, that was in chapter 5. Interpreting graphs, in different ways. This is more to do with the project in probability and statistics. And then, the financial literacy, that you had the personal budget chapter and the finance chapter. So this is how that connects in. And then, so the introduction, there's, hypothesis and reasoning, your topic. Your main body is sort of split into a couple of different areas that you can read over, but there's like your methods, your data, your explanation, so then your visual content, the correctness of your work. In your conclusion, what did you learn? What happened? There's also this 10-mark one, which is the overall workmanship. So I am looking for a fairly robust, well-made inquiry project. I want you to enjoy this and put some good hard work into it. So, when you look at this rubric even, it's very well laid out. I've color-coded it. I've got a nice little picture icon here. Everything is included. It's visually appealing. It's got, the same tones. And hopefully, you can make your workmanship in your project like that. Well laid out, and there's no like run-on sentences. There's no lack of visual content. There's no no things missing, and so on and so forth. So I am looking for just sort of an overall hard work factor. And then in addition to that, there's the works cited at the bottom. I already talked about this, but I do want you to tell me where you got some of your research from, and that can link into your introduction with the background information and into your main body with your research methods and things like that. So this is the rubric for your final portion. There is also a rough draft. So this is also important for you to work on, and this I want to know when you submit what you're sort of aiming for. And so I'll be able to judge based on what you're trying to get in the course if you're ready and sort of at that level already with what you've submitted. So you'll see that each criteria matches up with the criteria here in the main one. And I'm either going to give you suggestions for how you can do a little bit better. I might say something like, this needs some more detail. You could use some more sources. Your data isn't actually correct here. So I'll add some suggestions. Or if I'm like, you're at a B, if you're aiming to get a B in this, I'll mark this up. If you're aiming to get a B in this and you're getting a B, like boom, I'm just going to check that off, maybe put a smiley face. I might make a comment. I really liked your point here. I might try to throw some stuff in, just so that you can see, how it's going. And this isn't for marks. This is just for formative feedback from your teacher to show you, where you're at. This project is worth a fair amount of your grade. So, I want to make sure that when you're submitting your final submission, that it's really great. And this rough draft isn't worth marks. It's just for me to be able to give you um, some feedback. So anyway, this is part 2. I hope you really enjoy working on the project. And if, like I said, if you have any questions, come pop in and see me on Skype. I'd love to be able to guide you through this and be excited with you as you get to do it on a topic that you're interested in. So best of luck.